There is so much health information to be found on the internet and on social media. But have you ever thought about it? As to who wrote it? What are their credentials? Can you even trust the source? Well, you don't have to worry about this on Vodafone Healthline. We've ensured that we've brought you the right people to talk about the right things regarding your health. Join me, Frema Asiedu, as we learn more about our health. Coming up, we'll talk about infertility and menstrual disorders with a specialist. Remember, this show is proudly brought to you by Vodafone. The future is exciting. Ready? It's time for Mythbusters with Dr. Folson and Dr. Yali. You look nice.
Thank you.
Hi, Frema, you too.
Well, you know how we do. Pregnancies are times of uncertainties for many women and is plagued with a whole host of myths. Let's see which pregnancy myth popped up on social media this week. Well, I must say that this myth I've been asked by maybe a client or two, being a nutritionist, because they love snails, and yet they're afraid their babies will be born with drooling all over. Well, I won't say what I told them.
I'm sure today we're going to get teased again.
Oh, why are you taking the wind out of my sail? I mean, I almost came here believing that both of you would believe this myth, whatever it may be today as well.
Well, because of that, shall we prove him wrong?
Oh,
we don't believe that.
You don't?
Thank you.
Just
No.
FYI.
But you put thread in people's hair.
But okay, we don't believe that. But what about you, being a man and all?
I can't explain it medically. How the snail that is eaten by the mother during pregnancy is excreted through a different channel, goes into the baby. And causes the baby to do, maybe because of the slimy nature of the snail.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. That's the challenge. But drooling on its own, when a baby is born, a baby drools. Is it a normal thing or abnormal thing for a baby?
It's not abnormal at all. It's just a little bit of hypersalivation, meaning that the normal salivary glands are producing a lot. You know, there are various phases of producing saliva. The one that produces, or the one that is produced when you just think about food, and the one that is produced when you actually see food.
Hey.
Yeah. So when a baby's nose is rubbing all over his mommy's chest and he can smell the milk, and the drool just comes, and it really varies.
It's a sign of I am loving what I'm seeing.
Exactly, and I want
Mommy,
more of what I've been getting. Exactly.
Okay.
So really, there's nothing much to it, and I don't think it has too much or anything at all to do with snail eating.
But is there any health condition that would cause a baby to overdrool or?
Well, yes. If you have so basically, our ability to keep saliva inside the oral cavity has to do with our control of our facial muscles. Okay. So if you have any condition that sort of affects this, maybe cerebral palsy, you realize that they kind of drool, and it sort of goes throughout. Normally, up to about 2 years, it's how baby tries to find his way around his facial muscles. It can drool a little bit, and it's perfectly normal, like Dr. Folson said.
Most of the time, their mouths are open anyway, so the little that comes into the mouth really just drools out.
Because they're not learning.
Exactly.
So up to 2 years, you were saying.
Up to 2 years.
Anything after that, you should get worried.
Yes. I mean, seek help after 2 years. It's fair to give it up to about, say, 2 years.
Okay.
And then see how it goes. But the frequency sort of decreases.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The catch is, the more baby sort of gets control over the facial muscles, the more it stops.
And Frema, you know that thing where people some children for several reasons just can't keep their mouths closed. And people do that till age 4, age 5. Those who are sucking their tongues, those who have chronic colds and breathe through their mouths. For several reasons, kids just keep their mouths open and makes them more likely to drool.
So,
not necessarily because of pathological, the word comes again, pathological reasons.
Or something is wrong.
Frema is an expert now. Pathological, she knows me.
Yes, I keep learning every day on Vodafone Healthline.
to the nearest surgery ward of the Columbia City Hospital.
Thank you.
And meet our star patient, Agnes.
Oh, she's so cute. Hello. Hi. Oh, God, smile. Well, I'm sure, sir, you're wondering, and then you're filming. This is the time during the show in Kebabo story. Kebab show, so conditions, issues, nanka. Dr. Yalini, Dr. Force, and Church. But today, you're surprised, Mama. Mama, baby cute, but Mama is surprised now. Sweetheart, we are at Kolebu Teaching Hospital to bring you closer to the story, to be part of that remarkable journey that baby Agnes is doing and fighting for her life right from her mother's womb. Let's see her story.
Jukuna di angake na mika kenga miknu beni fo agino ifo behavior meni fo no kwa ewe se no pe ehelina no ngana no pe li senya gba mi ngeke ha o mi ke poto to ke no na mi ko hiya atemi na o mi tokoli ijoboti ase Agnes ta pe ifo bienu la Agnes na na bienu
ye frame Beatrice Fiabu ni Naomi no oyo ma sorry member na me ya omo meku leader mi show mu nya so enti onu Naomi no mi fa mi ti se mi ba pa o me no matuna almost 10 years ni mi no mu ne o ifo elu le ehun no ba omi ke o camp ko yangere kwa klo ya en camp lu ifo we le jomio iba no ba pemi ka kon mi lo wa ba doctor no wa doctor aka ma pemi operation pemi mi na ka pemi ki be kunle la de mi ke o mam na se be ne jukun ki li pemi am ni che ma sin le jukun bi e na ko le ma pemi le jomio na ba pemi nge la ba je jukun ko le wo singe sa no le na je jukun la ka mi chon kan ma ejukun semia kan ne nge jukun semio ne china lori de me ke le jomio la ba ojukun ke jino ma ba ojukun ke jio le jomio na ba ojukun ke jio la ba chon wo chupa ko me ke wa he aba ma omi ha wa ba o lete na ba ha wa ke wa ba ko le bun se ko ba ko le bun abesika ko he nti wo na ofri hospital by no me call ni cheno ena o dwarema kwa na me hu bibi wo kwara no nechi na me bis na we so free here wo sa wo akwara no say ya na eti na na doctor no wa hu na so doctor no hu ye na so doctor no man krata say one fan ko lebu na mo ko na operation nti ifan ko lebu no yana me ni ko lebu nti ye ko na lebu by say 3 weeks as training am now at last me da ko hu doctor no or see just a burn operation
no ba ko lebu ba chesika kan o ke 55 million lo ake jelimio ko lo wa pale ka ro back no wa de ro abi me ke se sikana che ha wo skaji no ne se na do ke se ko ba ko lebu sa hin pela ma wo se skaji no ne na do ke se eklo ki kun se je mata mi na ko wa pe no wa besika eji ko no wa besika ko le no ba kriki kun ni
ni kwa omu system no akora no ni yara na abetu omu anu kwa ye nyina no haye se nya bebia e be ko fast kan no na ne kunu nso a ni juma no so nya ye nti onu se anu ha no se onu otu won sankra ko na onu nti ade haye ni microphone mu ni omu ho ni nyina no ha omu se
You free doctor and check on and we cry. Ya konye scan bi nti ya how am I nyina nti that could be me wana na me phone ring here because fine doctor no na friend say akoda no o ma ye no operation na so be na ebe no operation ya anya hwie na bu e dey asam papa bi aba amaye yeti no fact ye ni gie say o si asam papa bi aba amaye nti doctor ni kire mu kire say asam papa bi e ba ni say Vodafone phone mumba Agnes ni braba mu say umbe take akabia ebeba ewo operation ni umbe hwe na umaye operation na amaye nti amaye ni gie
beninu ka Vodafone bi me ke amaye ke bua engwa mi lule e bua jo kan e ha o mi ke pototo me kla anya bi inanye singe Agnes hio Agnes ablabo mi ke ya pinye Vodafone bi nye ba neli be na Agnes ma pinye ablabo mi ndi kan ma yin wala mlebe je mi inanye sin
any doctor you know me am so you must see my mother know ha ko be see ana ya cat we do ana say bi obi dey anybody bi aka otama wonu no ana so bi on power sem bi esusu yare ana say bi o mama na ye bi she do something this beautiful baby
so it's usually a concern of most mothers and then in higher I want to understand we are quick to attribute it to spiritual process. Conciliation or a spinal cord. Chido. I said, I dream of my instruction here to back to the hands, to the legs, everything, touching the power. As a kid, he will be back.
I'm like, I say, highway.
He will be back. Before the first 1 month, sometimes the numbers of the problem is your money. Now, I started saying to don't pay. Cable mode don't pay.
That's a tube.
Good.
Neck.
Don't pay.
Don't pay tube.
Not tube, no. Cable, no.
I think they are complicated. Why confuse me?
It's also a big one. I want the center state.
Mechisa.
It's a document to me here. Nothing. Cable. I said, Robert, I work cable. Everyone, I said, but
Dr. Bank, with the way I have that mother, you become the specialist of the specialist for us today, as you is.
So basically, what baby Agnes has is called spinal bifida, and for cases of spinal bifida, there are basically two types. There's one that is obvious, like this one that we can all see as well in the back. But there are others that are not obvious; they are concealed. But for the purpose of this discussion, we will talk about the one that is obvious. You can see. So baby Agnes was born with this problem. Indeed, this is something that is congenital, that born with, the problem that the child was born with. And it's possible actually to detect it before the child is born.
How?
So from imaging, ultrasound, for example. Okay, so ideally, during the pregnancy, we should have at least 2 ultrasounds.
That's a ultrasound.
Video.
That's a ultrasound.
Yes. And one is done. At least the one that is done between the 18th to the 20th week. That one can identify a lot of these problems, abnormalities. Okay. And then there's one that you can do early, from about 12, 14 to the 16th week. the thing is that the brain and the spinal cord and all the central nervous system, it develops so early during the formation of the child. So a little over 2 weeks, the brain starts developing. And this complex and it actually starts developing like a tube. Okay? It's just developed like a tube. So the whole development of the child, something can go wrong. Okay? It's not the fault of the man, it's not the fault of the woman. These things can just happen. Okay? It's not everything that we have control over. But there are some aspects of this problem that we have control over. For example, once we know that folic acid, okay, folic acid, if you were taking folic acid regularly, okay, we can actually reduce the incidence of this condition by about 70%.
Okay. So apart from folic acid, anything else?
So I mean, folic acid is so huge, so important. So because pregnancies can come about without, as though it's not planned. Right from puberty, for example, we need to encourage any lady who has the potential of a child to start taking folic acid. The most important thing is the stores of folic acid that we have. That is very crucial. So one small tablet, okay, every day, yes, 0.4 milligrams. Okay, yes, you can put it by your toothbrush anytime you brush. You have to brush your teeth every morning. You just drop one down, and that can reduce the incidence of folic acid. If you have had a child with folic neurotic defect, your chances of having another one is higher than somebody who hasn't had a child. So, for her case, she actually needs to take a higher dose. Okay, she needs to take like 4 milligrams every day to build up her stocks
For the next baby.
But most importantly, all our cereal, okay, all our food that the children we eat, it needs to be fortified with folic acid, and that is actually a policy.
That should be a policy.
Yes. It is a policy.
But before we run, treatment the diagnosis. Operation can say the nobody will overfra and say what is the
So unfortunately, when you have a child with this problem, it has implications for the child's lifetime. The problem with the spinal bifida is that you see the nerves. Okay, if I think of, let's say my leg, for example, I think about it, the information must go through my spinal cord, come through nerves, the muscle for me to be able to do that. Now, for these cases, the nerves, they get stuck in that swelling that you see there. So, if you look at Agnes, for example, see her left foot. Okay, you watch carefully. She doesn't move the left foot as often. Okay, so obviously there is a problem, and that has implications over ambulation. She's being able to walk, be able to pass through.
Yes.
So certainly we'll operate on her. As I said, the main indication for doing a surgery is one. Well, I should say that these problems, when the child is born, the surgery needs to be done as early as possible. Certainly within the first 72 hours, it needs to be done. Yes, we need to do that surgery as soon as possible. It reduces the risk of infection. But this one in there, we taught her how to place the child in the prone position on the side, how to lay the child on the side so that the pressure on the lesion can actually cause it to rupture. And the water that comes out of it is spinal fluid. Spinal fluid. It communicates with the brain. So if there's any infection in this meningitis is going to develop meningitis. And if that happens, the can actually lead to death. So that's why it needs to be done. Other issue is that cosmetics. I mean, nobody wants to see a child, with a swelling at the back. And that's one of the reasons why some mothers actually don't bring this child to hospital. They don't want to see others to see this child. So, and then of course, the urination problem and also the bowel problem, all of them need to be attended to. And let's not forget that once you have a child with a congenital problem, you have to look for other congenital problems. Okay, like the feet, for example. Okay, this child, we need to look out for hydrocephalus. As I said, the water there communicates the water in the head. So when we remove this swelling over there, that water that should have actually been there going to start piling up. So we have to be monitoring for hydrocephalus.
Let's know why. If I've been a good student, and let's start with you.
No. And so, Dr. Bankai can say, one, this should be treated early.
Okay.
Two, a man from adolescents, they should try and take folic acid.
Adolescents in my age.
Infants say be 14. I think they're above them, but say 14 years. Start advising them to take folic acid. Now also, bear in mind, say after we other complications. It be the toilet call, the junsomu, the nantiemu. It be problems bim. So, or say it's a multidisciplinary. Surgery now. Always come to the hospital for follow-up. The Johnson then help will be given.
So listen, number 4.
Oh, I'm last time in Canada. I'm saying refi. So there. Also, then okay.
Then I'm okay. When you're cry, nutritionist, mo asamba ko kacho. I did green na yempedi. Kontomre, moringa, boko, alefu, nkruma, then green. Cassava leaves. Green. Anything green or folic acid, and I'm able. I know. Simple. It's like it's simple.
The cereals also should be
fortified. Policy. So till Ghana,
the policy is already there.
It's the implementation. We need to implement all these foods that are being imported.
Policy now
imported in the country.
And can be a good student. So they say, Dr. Banka, my fellow kid will be paid. Now over 10 years bad. And you're still 8. But as I was saying, I did yellow kit one. Who feels so sick and snip waffle. I bet you could call chemist shop. Where can your pharmacy chemist crack it? Never be too brushing. That's what I learned. Well, Mommy and follow Agnes. As Vodafone has taken over, let's see how far she gets. Stay tuned. Dr. Paddy Ayete has been making me laugh. But who is he? Oya Befuma Befo. Oya Tatashini Bia, a specialist. Oya dewa imanya remupai, imma hunsam, yede hunsam dozo. But he's here to explain a lot of things. But we'll stick to 2 because your man is here. My mentor as well. Infertility. In pain, no near say mano. Yeah, one man a fault. Obechirasi. Obeka mema de no so. Na face no bo no mo ade bia na moja tu no. Ohu de yakoso. Obe explain ni nyina kire. Doctor, welcome to Vodafone Healthline.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
The pleasure is all ours. But doc, infertility, as I was saying, most of the time they would blame the woman because they say we are the ones with the hormones, we are the ones supposed to carry the baby. We have 1,001 things that can go wrong. That's why we are not fertile. It's never the man's fault. True or false?
That's actually not the case. If you take 100 people who are trying to get pregnant, 40 of them the woman is the one who has the problem.
40. Okay.
Another 40 is the man that has the problem. Pepe.
Oh, pepe.
Oh yes. We share the blame equally. And then the remaining 20, the man and the woman both have problems. And sometimes it's the same thing. Sometimes the upsetting part is when a woman comes to an obvious problem, like her periods don't come.
Okay.
So you're like, oh, okay, you've come, your periods don't come. Then you're following the woman and working on her, getting the periods to work, totally forgetting that the man you may have a problem. 50. By the time you finish working on the woman, then you tell them, okay, now bring your sperm and let's, do what we need to do, only to discover the man to have sperm problems. Sure. So actually, we are supposed to manage both of them together. And it's actually better if a couple come that they want to have a child to test the man first. First of all, how difficult is it to produce sperm compared to all the injections and lab things that we have to do for the woman?
True. Secondly,
fixing sperm takes months, 6 months, 1 year to try and get your sperm to be where we want it to be.
Wow.
Meanwhile, a woman's problem, you can do it in 2 or 3 months.
Doctor,
you understand?
So it is
actually better.
Wait, doctor. Doctor, I think.
Yes, my dear.
Wait for me. For the sake of those who did not understand you.
I should say it again.
With
emphasis.
Okay. Doc say, so Bema or problem, it me take 1 whole year, 6 months to 1 year, answer no sperm ya any you. Or bad there 2 to 3 months, but Tia Munja man I had one. Can you? Did I get it right?
Oh, yes, you did.
Okay.
Point was made.
Thank you. So, Doc, when you talk about injections, then you talk about bring your sperm and all those kind of stuff. How expensive is this? Is it only the menstrual stuff like irregular menses and all that that comes with it? How many years of trying can a couple say that they are infertile, so they should come see you?
So
I know a lot of
that's a lot of questions here. So let's start from the beginning, work our way towards the end.
Sure.
We say you have a problem, or we agree that you have a problem if you've been having sex about 3 or more times a week. 3 or more times a week. So all non-performing assets, take notes. 3 or more times a week for 1 year. Yes, we have quite a number of them. For 1 year.
Okay.
And you have not been able to achieve a pregnancy. If, however, you are older than 35 years, we don't like waiting for 1 year. 6 months is enough.
Okay.
And that is because naturally you are born with like 2 million eggs.
Okay.
By the time you reach puberty, it's down to like 300 to 400,000. And every day your eggs are dying and falling away. So by the time you hit 30 years, the number of eggs you have left start dying very fast. And by the time you're 35, it drops precipitously. So by 40, there are significant challenges. So we don't have the time. When you're 30, we can take our time and run tests over a long period of time. When you're 35, we don't have that time. We need to work as quickly as possible to try and get you there.
And this is the woman's age we are talking about.
And this is the woman's age. Unlike men who can continue producing children to 80 years.
And that's what they used to
80 years plus.
Bully us.
So men have a bit of a longer window.
Okay.
The tests are a lot.
Okay.
Because we must take note. We need to find out why you're not getting pregnant. And it's a bit like detectives' work. For some people, it's a tube problem.
Okay.
The sperm, when you produce sperm, enters the womb. When it enters the womb, it must go through the tube to meet the egg.
Yes.
The egg.
Yes.
So if the tube is blocked, it's like maybe on the bridge is blocked. So since we are on this road, let's say the East Legon on the bridge is blocked. So you're on this side, if somebody's on Spintex side, somebody on East Legon side, the bridge is blocked, you cannot meet.
Exactly.
And because you cannot meet, you cannot achieve a pregnancy because we need the egg and the sperm to combine to form a pregnancy. For some people, it's what we call a tubal blockage. For some other people, it's because the egg is not being produced or the egg quality is not very good. As a result of that, you are not able to get produce good quality eggs.
True.
For some other people, it's from the other side. The sperm is not very good. So you're not able to get good quality sperm to meet the egg. So you can have good eggs and poor sperm or no sperm because the fluid produced does not contain sperm at all.
Shooting blanks.
Yes. so to say. And then for some people too, there's a problem inside the uterus. Unfortunately, that's the part that we don't pay too much attention
inside the womb, no?
Inside the womb, where the baby sits.
Okay.
Because instead of a nice, soft, juicy mattress for the baby to lie on, it's actually a bed of rocks and stones.
Hey.
You understand? And our picture actually explains some of these things. It's a bed of rocks and stones.
You actually have literal rocks and stones?
Well, fibroids, scar tissue, adhesions. It's like planting corn on concrete. It's not going to work.
Okay.
So there are people who, because of previous miscarriages and things of that sort, the inside of the womb is stuck together, or there are stalactites and stalagmites inside.
Hey, big
all
words.
Those are inside, yes.
Big words.
Remember your geography from secondary school?
Bibisa.
So if the baby comes and wants to sit inside, then the place is not conducive for a pregnancy. Sometimes it's a fibroid, which is causing heavy bleeding. Sometimes it's a polyp, which is a soft tissue, which even when you do a scan, you may not see unless you are specifically looking for it. And it's lying there, acting like an IUD family planning. So when a pregnancy comes, it says, I am here, you go. And so you don't get pregnant. Wow. So that is one of our major problems to solve. And for that, we need to put a special telescope into the womb and look inside and make sure that the place looks, looks good.
You mentioned ectopic.
An ectopic pregnancy is a pregnancy that is formed outside the womb, basically. Because the sperm meets the egg, a baby forms. On its way back, the pregnancy is growing. And the tunnel is fixed. So the pregnancy is very small and is growing and is growing. You must be lucky enough to go through it before it gets to that stage. But once you are not able to do that, and the pregnancy is too big for the tunnel, then it gets stuck in between.
What is the role of, you mentioned the bleeding by, say, the fibroid causing some bleeding and stuff. So making me think, what's the role of these bleedings? Because every month we bleed anyway, and it's supposed to be a good thing. What is the role of bleeding in ensuring your fertility? Some people have shorter days, some have long days. What's the normal range and things of that?
We expect that you would have a regular menses.
And what is regular menses?
That means a menses that comes every month.
Okay.
By every month, we are saying approximately 28 days. 28 days is like our midpoint.
Okay.
Then we can go a bit longer, so you can go up to 35.
Okay.
And then it can be a bit shorter to about 22.
Okay.
You understand? If you are within those ranges, we'll generally say you are normal.
So between 22 to
about 35.
35 days.
Yes. If you exceed the 35, we think there's a problem.
Okay.
If you are shorter than the 22, we think there's a problem. So that is just generally the area that we think you are. If you are in that zone, you are okay. Now, assuming you have a 24-day cycle and you have your menses on the 1st of August, you'll have your next menses on the 25th of August.
Yes.
So it will be 2 times in 1 month.
But it's okay.
But it's normal. Because your gap is
shorter,
relatively consistent, and yours is relatively short. Even if you have a 28-day cycle, you may have it on the 1st and then again on the 29th. That one too is normal. Some people don't have their menses every month. Okay. Now, those people have an ovulatory problem. And that is one of the major causes of infertility. It's called polycystic ovarian syndrome or disease. And that's a condition where they produce eggs all right, but the eggs stop growing when they reach like maybe teenage years.
Oh.
And then they are stuck. Then every month, you produce another teenager. And they don't burst. And because the follicle doesn't burst to release the egg, the sperm never meets it, and it never becomes a pregnancy.
And I didn't to mention, no.
They be You understand? So that is in fact, it's one of the major causes of infertility. And when we were in school, we were told that, the major cause of infertility was because of tubal blockage. But that's in part because we didn't really have the hormones test at that time to be able to run the hormonal test to know exactly what people's problems were. Okay. You understand?
Yes.
When I became a specialist, I used to have arguments with pharmacists when I'm saying, we need to give this client this anti-diabetic drug. And then they'll say the person is not diabetic, so don't serve the drug. Then you have to go through a whole education to try and make them understand why. Right? Yes. But now that awareness has increased, people are aware of the fact that you use these drugs for these purposes. So polycystic ovarian syndrome is one of the commonest conditions that I see every time in my practice. People come and they're having irregular menses. Menses is not coming. They can miss for 2-3 months, sometimes miss for a whole year, and then a whole year. And please, it is not that dirty blood is staying inside your body. The menses is like a bed sheet.
Okay.
Visitor is coming, you lay the bed. When visitor does not come, what do? You take the sheet off and lay a new bed sheet. That is all. So if you know visitor is not coming, you don't lay the bed sheet at all. So that's what happens with some of these people. They are people,
they
don't lay the bed sheet at all. So we now have to work on them to correct that thing. Okay. Get their hormones back to the way they are supposed to be.
And how do you correct this? How do you do the hormonal thing?
So we run hormonal tests, and there's a particular way the hormones would appear when you see it. There are different hormonal tests that we run at the beginning of your cycle, some of them in the middle of your cycle, some of them 3 weeks into your cycle. And those tests are date dependent. So you can't just get up and we give you the request and go and do it when you want.
It means they have to know your cycle.
Well, yes, you do have to know your cycle. And we tell you, this one is on the 3rd day of your cycle, do this on this day. Come and see us on maybe the 12th day Then we do some other tests. Come and see us on the 21st day, so we do a blood test for you. When we have all those tests, and we can also do a test for your egg reserves. It lets us know how many eggs you have waiting. So the young women who want to know whether they can wait small or they should hurry up and have children,
they better do that check.
They better do that test.
Okay.
And we can find out, how many eggs you actually have left. If you have got a lot of eggs left, good news. You've got time. If you have a few eggs left, we say, hurry up and have your children because your clock is
ticking. And it's ticking fast.
Yes.
But Doc, I was wondering.
Oh, but that was only one aspect of the abnormal bleeding.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in my head. The heavy ones and
fibroids too are there. If a fibroid is on the inside of the womb, basically where the baby sits, not only does it prevent you from getting pregnant by affecting implantation, it also causes you to bleed heavily.
Oh, when the bedsheet's coming off?
Yes, because what happens, and that's the one you see, the intracavity one in the middle there.
Wow.
That one, and then the submucous one by the side there. Those two are the ones that will cause you to bleed most heavily. The pedunculated one is the one that when we touch your tummy, we feel it and it can move. When you say the fibroid is moving here, that's the one that moves. I don't care about that one. It can be there. We will take it out at a later date. The one in the muscle, the intramural one, doesn't prevent you from getting pregnant, but it causes other problems when you're already pregnant.
Like
it may cause you to have pain, contractions, things of that sort. But we deal with that one at that stage. But the submucous one and the intracavity one, those two are the ones that prevent you from getting pregnant and the ones that bleed heavily.
They act like the IUD.
Yes. But the good thing about it is that I don't need to cut you to remove those ones.
Oh, really?
Yes. We enter through the vagina, through the cervix with a special instrument, and we shave the fibroid from there, and we get out. And you go home that same day, and the next day you're back at work.
And you get pregnant?
We can get pregnant, yeah.
That's good news, though.
So heavy fibroids, this is another procedure by which you can actually treat a fibroid. You put in a special instrument, laparoscopically. We do laparoscopic ultrasound. In other words, you put a camera in your tummy. We do an ultrasound through another hole we've put here. And then we put the instrument inside. And then we use radio frequency to kind of burn it with heat. And then we get out. And then when you finish, after a while, since you've killed it, the body just absorbs it and it goes away.
Wow.
So that is a new technology that's available globally. Soon, I guess, we'll have it here as well.
I was
not just yet. Yes, but it's one of the options that are also available in treating uterine fibroids of that sort. Yes.
Doc, you said something about bleeding, hormonal imbalance. Is bleeding the only way, or abnormal bleeding the only way you can tell that your hormones are not balanced?
Oh, not necessarily. Your periods may not come. You may start gaining weight excessively. You may notice that you are getting hair on your chin and things, and things of that sort.
Wow.
Your blood sugars may start being, abnormal. You may notice heat intolerance, that you cannot tolerate heat very much. If you are sweating, when everybody is feeling cold, you are feeling hot. The reverse too may occur. That when everybody is feeling hot, you are feeling cold. Or you may notice that you are producing white fluid from your breast, which is actually milk. Not clear fluid.
Not when you are breastfeeding.
You are not breastfeeding. You are not pregnant. You don't have a child. But when you squeeze your breast, white fluid comes out. All those are signs of hormonal problems that you may be suffering. And those hormonal problems may be the reason why you're not getting pregnant.
Is it possible to be able to feel a fibroid with your fingers under the...
It depends on the location
the polyps and all those kind of
polyps. No, not with your fingers.
Okay.
But some fibroids distort the anatomy to extend that it's gone all the way down there. So if you put your finger inside, you may actually feel a round mass in the wrong location. They're like, this wasn't here before. But for most people, they'll feel it on their tummy. When you press the lower tummy, you feel. And for some people, the fibroids grow from down here all the way up to here. So you see somebody is 9 months pregnant and is with fibroids and not a baby. And you must remember, the bigger the fibroid, the more likely it is that your womb may have to go. Because what will be left may not be useful. It's like I've taken your dress and I've cut out all the brown inside. The green cannot carry you.
No.
And that is what happens.
Most definitely.
So if you come, the earlier you come, the smaller it is, the easier it is for us to take it out. And you would also get the outcome and the result that you want.
When someone has already had a baby, how long should the person wait or think that they should wait before their periods come? because there's this food of thought. Some people get theirs after 40 days and that's just fine. Some a year or two later, some never see it till they are pregnant again. Are these things normal, or what is the normal thing for a woman who's already had a baby? Well, in addition to the regular bleeding, I know I'm putting a lot of questions in one, but all of that, what is normal? You
see, for some, after you've had a child, usually, you're breastfeeding. Yes. Because you are breastfeeding and you're producing milk, the hormone there tells the other organs, or the ovary right now, that you've just had a baby, you are breastfeeding a baby, go on break for a while, don't release eggs and give us a new baby because this one needs to be fed. This one needs attention, this one needs care, the body needs to recover. So as long as those hormones are high enough to produce milk, it is suppressing your ability to ovulate and therefore get pregnant. However, of late, things are not the way they used to be. Changes have occurred. And now people are getting their first menses 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Sometimes a month. I've heard of a
after
month.
they've had a child. And then the first menses, we are like, oh, maybe let's just watch it. Then 1 month later, they have another menses. They realize that, oh, we are in trouble. Because that's the woman who gets pregnant at 3 months. And then she has 2 children 1 year apart. And we are all saying, what happened? That is what happened. Her system, despite the fact that she's breastfeeding, does not suppress ovulation enough. It could also be that she's cheating on the breastfeeding and she's not breastfeeding enough. Because if you are breastfeeding continuously, you are not supposed to be ovulating. It's the same thing with menopause, and some people will tell you that in our family, our menses continue till 55. And some other people at 42, they become menopausal. It just runs in their family.
Talking about menopause, it's interesting you mentioned that. One of the things that older women say when they reach menopause, apart from the hot flashes and everything, is that they lose libido, down there becomes dry, and the men start to complain. It's dry, nothing. So how can they also get back into action?
When you are eating biscuits and you are thirsty, what do?
Drink water.
You drink water. So if it's dry, what do? Lubricate.
With what?
The lubricants, you have plenty. Right now, if you go to any pharmacy and you stand by you are coming to pay your bill, whatever you bought at the pharmacy, look down to the left or to the right. There are plenty. So, arranged in bottles or tubes.
For another woman going there, hey, for real.
I beg you, go and pick your thing. But I mean, but lubricants are available. There are other things we can do. There are hormonal patches that can be given to you, or we can even give you an estrogen cream to apply in the vagina. The challenge is that we are a bit careful about using that at that stage because of the risk of endometrial cancer. You understand? If you're somebody who is predisposed to endometrial cancer and you're using those creams, it may make it worse, may make it come faster. So we are a bit hesitant about using it. And also by the fact that this problem is going to be there for quite a bit. So, and then there are a few herbal supplements, not as in Libidro herbal,
you say herbal,
but as in processed, refined, lab tested, pound per pound compared to paracetamol testing, that kind of testing. I mean, tested like how our proper scientific drugs are tested. That can also boost your hormones a little bit and will cause you to naturally produce a bit more of those hormones. And then there are kinds of diets that we can also suggest that will give you natural production of estrogen so that it would increase your lubrication down there.
I see there are a lot of foods that people also say can help boost the natural production of estrogen when you hit menopause. And some have been, hyping soya. Soya and soya products. We say it has phytoestrogens. As a nutritionist, sometimes I look at it too and say, well, let's try it and see. But from your point of view, as an obs and gynae, do you support the soya theory? We
do know that soy products contain phytoestrogen. And it's been found that when you do consume it, your levels improve and your symptoms reduce a bit. The question is by how much? And you may take it and it will be fine. I may take it and have absolutely no effect. So our individual idiosyncrasies too play a role. Usually we say, well, this is a big topic. Talk to the nutritionist. They'll tell you which ones, that's us, qualify for which one has more than another and which one works better than the other.
You ran away
oh,
from
we pushed it away today. That is why they also went to school.
Well, true.
That's why we went to one school. They today. So when it comes to what do I eat, talk to this one.
I like that.
They will explain very well.
Thank you so much, Dr. Paddy Ayete. Did I say it well?
Yes, you did.
I think your father will be proud.
Yes, Paddy Ayete. That's a Krobo way of pronouncing it. But
nice.
Most people just call me Paddy Ayete.
Nice. We've learned so much from you, and I'm sure that marriages have been resolved.
We shall hope so, but you know, they should just have a chat with somebody. A lot of times we've got problems and we are hoarding it. And it's a very, very simple solution lying, you know, somewhere. I've got a friend of mine who has become the lubricant champion because she talks to a lot of people, and when she mentions that you have to, so I want some. Hey, meet I want. Then she was like, all of you had problems all the time. We didn't mention it. And then when they take it, like, oh, it is working. It is, yes. We don't talk about our problems enough, but it's amazing the solutions that are available today in this country for problems that you think that, you know, there's no solution for it. But you just need to talk to the right person to say, this is what my problem is and who is the expert in this, and they would actually find a solution for you. I tell my clients all the time, you are your own best referee, you are your own best judge, you are your own best advocate. If you think there's something wrong with you, get it sorted out, fix it, look for it. And you look for a solution and get it sorted out. Because if you sit there, you are the one who is suffering. Everybody will tell you, oh, sorry, but we will go away. Yeah. You are the one who will suffer.
Well, thank you very much for spending time with us on Vodafone Healthline. God richly bless you, and we've learned so much. Thank you once again.
You're welcome.
Oh, I'm on for. Yes, Sempa. Na bro from the doors, move on channel. Musu minti krobo nti ni de bediano no. Nti kakra yesua de. Ade ba kwa yesua wom ne se. Memfa yare enhye wo ho. Uton yare na nya unu edu. We'll be right back.
Sesiano, yadi baby Agnes Echo Theatre. Oko any operation. We at Vodafone Healthline wish her the very best.
So basically what Naomi Tokoli has is what we call the myelomeningocele. The central nervous system initially develops as a tube, and both ends of the tube should close at a specific time. So if it doesn't close, then we have problems. And one of the problems with delayed closure of the distal part of the tube is the myelomeningocele. So if you take the vertebral column, the bone itself, the bone that protects the spinal cord is absent. So we have the spinal cord with the coverings around them and also the spinal fluid, all protruding through this defect in the bone. And that's what you saw at the back of Naomi Tokoli. So the surgery basically is trying to restore the anatomy. And the indication is really to untether the cord. So the spinal cord is really attached to neural elements within the swelling. And also, I mean, the mother sees or the family sees the swelling, and it's cosmetically, it's not nice. So those are the two main reasons. What we have done now, you saw us make an incision around the swelling. We advance this incision all the way to the dura. The dura is the outer aspect of the meninges. So we dissect this placode away from the adjacent tissues, and then the covering of the spinal cord, what we call the dura, we reconstruct it, we dissect out, and then reconstruct the dura so that this neural tissue is now protected within the spinal fluid is protected by the dura. And then we also try and raise fascia. Okay, the fascia is also another tough tissue that we have at the back, to try and also provide an additional protection of the spinal cord. The fluid that was in the swelling there also communicates with the fluid that is in the head. So sometimes you take away this swelling, okay, that is there, and the fluid that is usually formed in everybody's central nervous system, that fluid can accumulate, okay? So that is one thing that we need to follow up this child for. Certainly, as you can imagine, they will continue to need help. So we'll still be knocking at the doors of Vodafone to provide the care and the support, the financial support to baby Naomi as and when needed.
I cannot leave you without my nutrition tip for today. It's very good for women when it comes to hormonal balance. What is it? Pepper. Just break some pepper or squash it or make it into powder, whatever. Add some water to it and drink it like this nice cup of tea. 1 good cup a day makes a lot of difference when it comes to hormonal balance. Indeed, it's time to say bye-bye for now. But let's keep the conversation going on our social media handles. Remember, this show was proudly brought to you by Vodafone. The future is exciting. Ready?
The future is exciting. Ready?